Everyone, my name is Armatha McIntyre. My topic is gender discrimination in schools. Gender discrimination is a huge topic in today's society, especially in the schools. Although discrimination is bad enough, being discriminated against because of something such as your gender is worse. No one chooses what gender they want to be when they are born. There are so many different genders that one could choose to go by in today's society. While transgender stories have become more visible in the media, there are many identities and terms outside of the two most culturally accepted genders, man and woman, that fall under the trans umbrella. Schools are starting to offer more choices to label yourself as on applications. On April the 25th, both the Universal College Application and the Common Application announced significant changes to their college applications forms beginning in the 2016-2017 academic year. Even the colleges are beginning to broaden their minds about what a person may or may not consider themselves as. In my personal experience in my lower grades, the boys got discriminated against the most. If not by the teachers, then the fellow students intimidated the act. The boys were considered disruptive or bad, and the little girls were considered angels. As I got older and into high school and college, I realized then that the girls were being discriminated against in school. Maybe it was because of their hair, skin color, or even for being pretty, were things that put the girls aside. The boys became more privileged than the girls. Some of it had to do with the boys being athletes and teachers taking to them. The better they were in sports, the more privileged they became. College was a whole nother different ballpark. This was when gender was looked at extremely by others, not being like others, like someone else that looked like you and acting as others think you should, bring about unwanted attention. Gender identity is an extremely personal part of who you are and how we are perceived and express ourselves in the world. It is a separate issue entirely from sex, our biological makeup, or sexual orientation. Who we are attracted to. Miller stated the latest data available from the organization indicated that 75% of more than 150,000 transgender students in the middle school and high school in the United States felt unsafe because of their gender expression. Students are not feeling safe in the schools because of how they are identifying themselves. The schools are not helping to make good changes in the system because the schools are still showing discrimination. School policies prevented over half of transgender students from using their preferred pronouns, while 60% of transgender students had to use the bathroom locker rooms that corresponded with their sex assigned to them at birth. Some will say that this is a good thing because some see that this is stopping discrimination. They could say that if they let the students use the bathroom locker rooms that they themselves identify by, that the other students would discriminate worse on that student. Also, some would identify as another gender to just use the opposite bathrooms and locker rooms for the wrong reasons. I say that either way, it shows discrimination and to make the student feel uncomfortable being around a gender they don't identify with. Discrimination in the field of education results in the individual tragedies and finally tells on the rate of progress a society or a nation makes. The status of a woman in a society has a direct effect on its health. In many countries and societies, young girls are not educated since she is considered a strain on the family resources. This discrimination is leading to girls and women not being educated because of the fear of being discriminated against. This is making females not even attend schools or even colleges. Without education, she cannot even voice her opinion, stand up for herself financially or emotionally, or even battle the discrimination from a social pulpit. This is leaving our women without a voice, and they can't even fight for their rights. Without a voice, you can't speak on the wrongdoings that are being made against you. Financially and emotionally, women are starving and are having to put up with whatever they can take. Gender discrimination is now and will continue to be a great debate in America, whether in schools or somewhere else. If we do nothing about it now, Ann Slater even stated that gender discrimination is coming into the workplace with men making more money than females and the same degrees and length of time on the job. If we do not put a stop to it, this discrimination is going to spread in all aspects of our life. Brode stated that the fight is not to determine the first among equal, but to enjoy the rostrum that is conducive to collaborate effort and a balance that is willed by nature. This means we need to stop worrying about who was first and work towards the balancing equality between the two. In conclusion, gender discrimination is affecting both genders in school settings, whether it be primary, middle, or high school. Even college is being affected by discrimination. We need to do something about discrimination before it goes to all aspects of our life.